Hello, this is Scott the Foodie, and I'm going to show you an easy way how to make lasagna soup. And as you can see from my shirt here, I do like karaoke. And what's your superpower? Everybody's got one. But when you have a lot of people that come over to the house, and you may not have the time to prepare for a lot of people. Sometimes if you cook a dinner, you'd be slaving in the kitchen all day by the time the people arrive when you want to cook something. But with this recipe, it is effortless. You can cook for a lot of people and it doesn't take that much time. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, I'll give you some of our ingredients here that we're going to use. We're going to use a little onion. I diced it up very fine because, again, don't forget, this is a soup. So I did this in a food processor. So we're going to throw in some onion into our pot. Now the pot that I'm using, I would say, how much did I put in there? About maybe 4 tablespoons of onion. The pot that I'm using is as you guys probably already know, I love cast iron. I have a cast iron Dutch oven that I'm using. But you can use anything. If you don't have one of these, don't worry about it. You can use a stock pot if you want. You get your biggest stock pot and you can use that. But I'm a big fan of cast iron, as you can see. Next ingredient is get 1 can of tomato paste. Use that. Get it out of here. Okay, and then I'm going to put that in there as well. And then our next ingredient that we're going to put in here, I should probably start turning this on, turn the heat on. I'll put the heat on, start turning it on. Next, I have how many cups here? I have 3 cups of Italian sweet sausage. You can use any sausage that you want, but because it's lasagna, I stuck with the Italian sweet sausage. And what I did, I bought it in the casing, and I just squeezed it out of the casing. And then and then what you do, you mash it up with your hands. Mash it up. You have to mash it up. Make sure it's nice and fine. Okay. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mash this up. We're going to incorporate the onion, the tomato paste, as well as the sausage. You want to cook the sausage a little bit first before we start adding our other ingredients. Okay, and as you can see, the sausage is cooking in with the onion and the tomato paste. And it's just all incorporated. It's all looking good. That sausage is not totally cooked, which it doesn't matter because don't forget that we're making a soup, so it's going to cook as we go throughout what we're doing. The next, what you want to put in, I have 3.5 pounds of chopped meat. And what I did with this, I cooked it. I cooked it first, and I drained all the liquid out of it, and I just put it in a measuring cup here. So how many? This is like 4. How many cups is this? This is 2 cups. So you put that in. That's your next. That's what you put in next. All right. So we just incorporate that. Okay. So we got all. What we're doing. We're putting our meat base down right now. And when you go shopping, you don't have to buy name brand items, or food items. When I go, I always buy store brand items like this Italian sweet sausage that I bought a whole bunch of it. It was store brand sausage. Same thing with the meat. And we're going to be using crushed tomato. It's store brand. Everything that I buy, if I can get away with it, the majority of, if you go to ShopRite, use ShopRite brand. If you go to Giant, use Giant brand. If you go to there's a store here where I like to go. It's called the Redner's, and I always buy Render's brand, or they have it like their brand is called. I'll give them a plug. It's Essentials brand, which they do not disappoint me. All right, and after once that is incorporated, you put in crushed tomatoes. You put in a 28-ounce jar of crushed tomato. That goes in next. Okay, and it's still I still have the heat on. I put it on a low heat. Just want to incorporate all that a little bit. Okay, now it'll stop simmering a little bit. And the next item is you're gonna put in a sauce, a tomato sauce. Now this is homemade sauce that me and my parents made. I think Tara helped out as well during it. But but you don't have to. You can use, of course, you can use any sauce that you want. Get a store brand sauce. It doesn't matter. But because I have a lot of this, we make a lot of this. I have it down in my basement. It's vacuum sealed. I use it all throughout the year. It's good. So I'm going to use that. I use a jar of it. It's a nice jarred sauce.
This one happens to be a marinara.
There you go. Yeah, marinara sauce. Yeah, that's really all we make. The reason why we just make a marinara, I mean, I'll do another vlog. I'll show you how to make sauce. Just because you can always make a meat sauce at the time. You can just incorporate the meat, kind of like what we're doing right now, but just a little differently. And with this recipe too, you don't have to add salt or pepper because salt and pepper is going to be, it's in the sausage, and it's also going to be in your broth that you use. Okay. All right. The next item is your broth. Use beef broth. I have a jar of it. I have a canning jar filled with it. Depending upon the vessel that you're using to cook it in, you can gauge on how much broth that you use. But I'm putting a jar in. Okay, so there it is. So we'll let that simmer a little bit. Then we're going to put our seasonings in. The only seasonings that we put in this is basil and oregano. That's it. That's the only seasonings. Okay, and what I've done at this point is I boiled lasagna noodles. I broke them up and I placed them in the soup, and that will all come together. And here is the best part that I want to show you. We're going to make our ricotta cheese mixture, and you're going to put this as a garnish on top of the soup. I got some lemon rind, and we're going to put this in here. I would say maybe 3 tablespoons of it. Yeah, that's about right. About 3 tablespoons of lemon rind. You're going to use some Romano cheese, maybe about 3 tablespoons of that as well. Okay. Some basil, maybe a couple pinches of basil. You can use either fresh basil or just regular basil. I use dry basil, and I'm going to use fresh basil at the very end. I'm going to use that. And a little bit of oregano. Just a little bit, not a lot. Just a quick pinch of it. Because if you use too much oregano, it's going to overpower it. You don't want that. Okay, and then I'm going to mix this. And the ricotta cheese, I used a 32-ounce jar of ricotta cheese. Just store brand. Okay, mix that up. Mix it up by hand, very easy. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, here's our finished soup. We have our ricotta cheese that we placed on top, as long as with the fresh basil, and a little bit of Romano cheese as well for taste. So there it is. There is our homemade lasagna soup, and I hope it improves the quality of your happiness, and I hope it improves your karaoke skills. So, thank you.